Hey, what's up, everybody? This is John Big Dog Wagner checking in. Still at it. Here at a delivery in Butler, PA. I know I haven't done a video in a little while, but I just wanted to check in. One, let everybody know that I'm here. Two, talk about a few things that, I've run into recently. Still here, still making my money, still doing my thing, Interesting story. I told you guys when I started with this new company at orientation, there was this lady that was talking about how Super Eagle was a scam. She was running teams with her daughter. She couldn't make no money. Blah 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 blah. And I asked her, how are you breaking down your loads? And she's like, what? That's the first I ever heard about that. Nobody told me about breaking down my loads. Long story short, there were a couple guys there at the table. One of them I'm still in touch with, and he's brand new to lease purchase. He's never done lease purchase at all. Well, he listened to what I had to say, and he kept my number. He and I are still in contact. And he's making his money. He's happy. In fact, he got called to the yard. He panicked. He's like, have you been called to the yard yet for this? I got to go to the yard. Are they going to take my truck? I'm making money, man. So I told him, I said, don't worry about it. You get called to the yard for different things, different reasons. I mean, if you're out there running, you're making your paper, then don't worry. He's like, yeah, I'm making money here. I'm good. So evidently, he kept up in touch with this lady. And she quit. And she made a post talking about how this place also was a scam and she can't make no money. Now, I'm making money here. There's a very big difference in the loads here versus the loads at Super Eagle. For one, they get better rates. Two, they're evidently used to drivers not getting their loads on time because they give you a whole lot of time to deliver a freaking load. I'm telling my dispatcher, you got to shorten that time up. But I'm definitely making money here. Even my first week was positive. I've never had a negative check here. All my checks are over 1,000. I'm getting to once I get everything paid off, all my checks will be over $2,000, close to $3,000. So I'm making my money here. The new guy I was telling you about, he's happy. He's making his money here. He's making his money. He's racking it. He's making his money. But this lady quit. And she's talking about she can't make no money. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, how is that possible? First off, I know this company has a lot of, on average, 1,000 mile loads for $3,000. I've done a few of them, especially on the East Coast. Right now, this load I'm on was 400 miles for $1,200. How you cannot make money with that, I don't know. But with 1,000 miles for $3,000, as a team, that's a day run. You could literally, as a team, run 1,000 miles in one day. Deliver the next, pick up another one, and run another 1,000 miles to deliver the next day. So if you're doing it like that, and it's $3,000 a run, you run 5 days like that, that's $15,000 gross. You got one truck payment because you're a team. You're in one truck. Now, they may double up on the insurance because it's two different drivers, but that means at a max, you're paying $2,000 a week for your truck and insurance. Your fuel on 1,000 miles, I mean, fuel prices ain't bad right now. That means your fuel is, what, 500, 600 on 1,000 miles? So they should be racking 10 grand a week. Easy. Easy. Or thereabouts, ballpark. But she's saying they can't, between the two of them, get a check over $700. My first check wasn't that low. And I only ran a few days. She can't get a check over $700 as a team. I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. So, yeah, she quit. And another one saying it's the company's fault. Now, this lady been at 2 companies now that I worked at. 2 companies now that I made money. 2 companies now that, I'm profitable. 2 companies that she can't make money, and the company is the problem. The company is a scam. What's wrong with that picture? Another thing I want to talk about, I feel kind of bad about it. The other day, I was at Trexler Truck Stop in Allentown, PA. This is a good truck stop if you live in the area. If you live in the area, they got monthly rentals, they got weekly rentals for spaces. It's a great truck stop if you live in the area. If you are out of towner, avoid this truck stop. I pull in, half the freaking lot got drop trailers in it. Out of what's left, over half the spaces got cars parked in them. And when I first pulled in, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Again, I found out afterwards they got monthly rental for the spaces. So people park their cars in there to keep their space and take off with their truck. When they come back, they move their car, they park their truck, and take off in their car. But for somebody who's an out-of-towner coming in, trying to find a parking space, good luck. But I stopped there. I actually kind of double parked. And then I got lucky as I was doing my pre-trip. A truck took off. So I jumped in his space right away. Went in, paid for it. $20, which is about normal for a parking space. So no big deal. They do have food inside. So, I mean, as far as a mom and pop type truck stop, it's not bad. But their parking situation, if you're out of towner, that lot is always full. But anyway, I mentioned this stop because as I was walking into the door, I hold doors for people. To me, you want respect, you got to give respect. So I hold doors for people. And there was this guy that's walking in behind me, and I honestly didn't see him. So I walked in, I didn't hold the door, and I heard him grab the door, and I was like, oh, shit, my bad. I'm sorry. And I got the next door for him. And he's like, I'll be watching you. And I'm like, what? He's like, you don't hear me. I'll be watching you. I'm thinking like the parking lot walking up, right? Like, I see you. I see you. And I'm like, what the hell? It didn't hit me. Oh, you talking about the videos? Yeah, what's up? So he told me his story. He's one of the few people that like running the Northeast. I don't run into many people like that. He likes running the Northeast. And he's like, yeah, I'll be checking you out. I'll be watching your videos. You keep doing what you're doing. That's on point. He's in a lease purchase program. His weekly truck costs $1,600 a week. Again, he's making his paper. So, I like when I run into people like that because it gives me a good feeling. Lets me know that, I'm having some type of effect, a positive effect on people when it comes to this business. This business is not a business for the weak-minded. It's not a business for the weak at heart. You got to put in to make this business work. You got to learn You know, when you're at a job, when you work for somebody, you just have the job. Somebody else is doing the paperwork. Somebody else is doing the math. Somebody else is doing the figuring. And you're a pawn that they're moving around to make things make sense. And lease purchase, I don't care what company you work for, you got to do the math. And you got to make the math make sense. And no, every day is not going to be a bright sunny day. Every day is not going to go in your favor. You're going to have some days that you're going to have to take hits. You guys have heard me talk about the hits. But you got to decide if the hit you're taking is worth sticking to it and moving forward. A lot of guys I talk to, it is. I got a buddy of mine that's still at Super Ego. He killing it. And props up to him, because not only is he killing it, I don't want to put all his business out there, but due to his family circumstances, he's homeschooling his son and has a son. I didn't even know they had homeschool programs like they got now. They got where the son is registered in a school, and they send him regular packets as if the kid's in classes, and the kid has homework, has quizzes, has tests, the whole nine. So he's literally homeschooling his kid on his truck. And his kid is living a trucker life with his dad. And, you know, his kid is loving it because he's with his dad. So, and he's making his paper. He's making plans. You know, when they had their 34s, they go to the beaches. He rents a car, nice car, so they can run around town or whatever. You know, he's living his life, and he's doing it in a truck with Super Ego, with his son. And I, you know, mad respect for him. Mad respect for him. He's making his paper. You know, I know quite a few people at this point that are in lease purchase that are doing well, that are doing very well. And then I run into people all the time, oh man, this lease purchase is a scam, you can't make no money, this is all BS, blah, 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 blah. And when I hear them, I'm just like, okay, I'm sorry it didn't work for you. What do you want me to say? I've been doing lease purchase for 2 years now. My bank account's going up. My credit score is going up. I'm able to take care of more things, do more things. I'm able to live life better. Like, I'm actually enjoying my life on the road now. You know, before, I didn't want to do this, didn't want to do that, was afraid to spend the money because what if? Well, now my bank account's at a point where I can enjoy life. A few weeks ago, I was in Arkansas. What part of Arkansas? I don't remember what part of Arkansas, but I went to Southland Casino. They got a steakhouse there called Ignite. They got a $65 steak at that place. Guess what I got? Yeah. Had me drinks, got me dessert. They gave me dessert on the house. It was one of those banana type. It's on point. It's banging. Another week, I was in New Orleans. I went, took a trip down Bourbon Street, stopped at a few of the restaurants there, stopped at a few of the juke joints there. Had me a good time. I learned very quickly I can't do that every day because, yeah, that kind of takes out of your 10. But yeah, I'm enjoying life on the road now. I'm living life on the road now. You know, but I'm not doing this to talk about me. I'm not doing this to brag about me. I'm just saying, you know, for the people who are listening to my videos, for the people who are taking my advice, for the people who have been able to connect with somebody to give them advice, they're making their money. They're living their lives. And they are not suffering living their lives. They're living their lives well. They're living their lives well. You know, but yet still, I still run into people talking about what a scam it is. And, I try to talk to them. I'm not a negative person, and I don't like negativity. To me, negativity ain't gonna get you nowhere. Somebody's lost their job, they're sitting on the couch, and somebody tells them, well, I know they're hiring over here, why don't you apply over here? Oh, what if I don't get the job? Then I wasted my time and did all this for nothing. Okay, but what if you do? You're literally sitting on the couch doing nothing. What have you got to lose? Well, with this business, the same thing. Well, they're saying that if you break it down and you pay attention, and you do this and you do that, you can make money. I think it's all bullshit. But if I'm going to go lease purchase anyway, if I try it this way, what am I going to lose? If you don't do it that way, I already know what you're going to lose, because you ain't going to make nothing. You can't make money on something if you don't know how much money you have in it. Look at it like this. Walk into a department store with $100 bill. Take a bunch of things off the rack, but don't look at the price tag. Now go to the register. Is that $100 going to cover it? You don't know. You never looked at what the costs were. You never looked at the price tags. Well, this is the same thing. If you get a load, right out the bat, you got costs, you got expenses, you got your truck payment, you got your insurances, you got, you got stuff you got to pay every week for this truck, to have this truck. On top of that, you got fuel. You got to know what your fuel costs are. You got to know what it's going to cost you to drive these loads. And if you don't know what these are, and they tell you I got to run for $500, that's maybe for 500 miles, that's paying $700, how do you know if it's profitable or not? Oh, this run's going to Rhode Island. I've been wanting to go to Rhode Island for a while, so I'm going to take it. At 45,000 pounds. Yeah, you got to see Rhode Island, but you paid them to drive their merchandise. And now you're complaining because you ain't make no money. But you didn't make any money because you didn't know what it was going to cost you to drive that load. You didn't know what your costs were. If you don't know what your costs are, how do you know if you're going to make money? That to me is just common sense. That to these guys that I'm running into, that to these guys that are calling me, that's common sense. For the guys that keep saying lease purchase is a scam, that's not common sense to them. Common sense to them is, well, they said for me to run this road, how am I supposed to know, or run this load, how am I supposed to know that there's no money in it? Really? So you're one of those guys that will walk into a general store with $100 bill and just take things off the rack and hope you have enough to cover it? Anyway, I'm still here. I got called into the yard too, so I'm doing a delivery in PA, and then I got another 400, 500 mile run for $1,200 to get me to Joliet. And then from Joliet, I'll run to the yard in Linwood and see what's going on there and do whatever I got to do and then get back out on the road. So, like I said, just checking in. I'm still in it. I'm still doing what I got to do. Still working out. I done added a few things. I got bands now for exercises that I can't do. I've got, I'm about to get me a treadmill. Oh yeah, they got a treadmill on Amazon that'll fit between your seats. And it's right around $100. I'm like, wow, okay. So I'm about to get me one of those, and I still got my stepper I'm doing my cardio on. And I'm just enjoying life. Finally losing weight like I want to. You know, when I got my med card in February, I was at 265. Recently went in for a drug test. Jumped on the scale while I was in there. I'm at 245 with more muscle because I've been working out. So, you know, yeah, I'm on the road in a truck losing weight. Anyway, like I said, just checking in. Let everybody know I'm still here doing good, telling you some of the stories that I'm running into. I hope that you guys are doing good. I hope that you guys are making your money. I hope that you guys are staying safe out there on the road. Until next time.